Save this video. I'm going to show you step by step how to fill in the CCMA form. Remember, this form is free of charge. You don't pay for it and it's simple to do yourself. Step number 1, get the right form. It's called Form 711. You get it from the CCMA website. You can also go into the CCMA office and they'll give you a copy. This is the form you use to open up all new CCMA cases. It doesn't matter what the reason is. Unfair dismissal, unfair labor practice, retrenchment. Fill in this form. Page 1 of the form is your details. It's quite self-explanatory. You're going to tick the box employee if you are an employee. Put all your details in there. Make sure you put the correct cell number because that's where you are going to get an SMS about your case number. Very important. Don't put your WhatsApp number. Put your SMS cell number. Now we move on to page 2 where we fill in the details of the employer. This is the place where you are working, the business. Use the same details that is on your payslip or your employment contract. Now we're dealing with the type of case that you're opening up at the CCMA. Most of the time you're going to tick the box dismissal or unfair labor practice. Let's go through some of these boxes so you have a better understanding. Dismissal, anytime you're fired. Severance pay, mostly dealing with retrenchment cases. If you didn't get paid out severance pay, but if you're challenging the retrenchment itself, then you tick the box dismissal. Unfair labor practice, that deals with benefits and how you're being treated at work compared to other employees. Unfair discrimination, very difficult case generally to prove, but this is where the company is treating you differently either because of your race, gender, religion. Only tick that box if it's relevant and you can prove that. The other aspects like unilateral change, refusal to bargain, 198, those are a bit more complicated and nuanced disputes. The most common one, like I said, is dismissal and unfair labor practice. Before we go to the next section, I want to remind you about our Legal Leaders Insurance. This is basically a protection that's available to you as an employee. If something had to happen to you, you know you are covered. You have peace of mind. You have car insurance for your car, medical aid for your health. What about protecting yourself at work? That's what we are offering you. To find out more about that, send us a message on WhatsApp. Back to filling in the form. Now we move on to summary of the dispute. Keep it short. Don't attach your evidence. Don't attach a long story. Whatever you put in here, they will use it against you at the arbitration. So keep it short and simple. Date and place where the dispute arose. Usually this will be at your place of employment and that will be the nearest CCMA where you are working. Date of dismissal is very important. You only have 30 days from the date of dismissal. So check your dismissal letter for that date. Procedure, if you're challenging the procedure, and substantive most of the time is the reason for why the company dismissed you. Under results, you would be asking for either reinstatement, which means you get your job back exactly as it was prior to dismissal, or re-employment, which means you go back to work but in a different department, or compensation, which means you get paid out a sum of money for your unfair dismissal. The maximum is 12 months. You decide what you want and write it there. Next is interpreter services. If you need that, you tick that box. Discrimination, remember what I told you before. If you can prove it, tick it. If you can't prove it, stay away from it. Sign and make sure you serve a copy on the employer. If the CCMA is going to serve it for you, double check that they do that. You should get a case reference number as quick as possible. Follow up with the CCMA.